Well, it's weird about Instagram. Good morning. Good morning. I know I threatened to do a live I Ching reading yesterday. What's wrong with this thing? Yeah? Yeah, I would too. Well, good morning, as I said. I'm just getting ready. I know I threatened yesterday. I threatened to do a live I Ching reading. And what I mean by that is I was just going to show people how easy it is to just give yourselves a reading from the I Ching. So, what's important about the I Ching? Well, the I Ching, and the reason, and I'll say not just what's important about it, I'll even say how I came to realize how important it is. Hey, welcome, Star Herbs. As I was saying, I threatened to do a live I Ching reading, and it's interesting what happened. So here I am, yesterday, getting ready to do that, and I get a phone call, and the temple had a surprise hot pot. And it was the first vegetarian hot pot that we've ever had, so we went down. And so it was a busy day yesterday down at the temple. There was a hot pot for all the volunteers, and so it was pretty cool. So I didn't get to do the I Ching reading. So what I thought, and I'm getting ready to go to the temple this morning, so I don't have a lot of time, what I thought would just share what the I Ching is and what it can do for some people. So, long story short, the I Ching is called the Book of Change, or the Book of Changes, depending on, believe it or not, the translation you refer to. I have a few. I've read a number of them. When I was young, I got into Buddhism, and I was studying religion and theosophy, the moral basis of religion. So that led me into Taoism and Confucianism, and anything Eastern, particularly Chinese, you'll get into the I Ching. It is at the heart of Taoism. It's at the heart of Confucianism. So what it is, it's a set of what they call hexagrams, and a hexagram is just what you see here, two of these put together. These are the trigrams, and they represent heaven and earth and air. You know, they all have a meaning individually, and then when they combine into their hexagrams, each one of them provides a little insight into your current situation. Okay, so keep in mind oracles versus a diviner. This is not telling you what's going to happen. What it's telling you is possibly events out of your purview that's shaping your destiny, as it were, just your present, right? Because particularly the big belief is the only thing that exists is your present. The past is gone. The future is yet to be created. Okay, so long story short, this is the, I guess you could say, the seminal tome of the Chinese civilization, and possibly then the foundation stone of philosophy and thinking for China, and therefore possibly for Asia. Right? We at this point, because of history, even the Chinese themselves have forgotten a lot about their history. But arguably, some of the greatest advancements in human history have come from that area. I'm not a cinephile. I don't know if that's movies or Chinese, but either way. I'm not huge. In fact, this is just recent. I come from a different lineage in Buddhism, and the I Ching itself was just a novelty that I used to do. And so I used to just, at first, well, actually, not at first. At first, I started studying it. I found this book when I was young. It's not just one translation. It's got as many as 5 different translations for the hexagrams. And so I started by reading it, and it gave me a good intro into the Eastern culture and the belief system and just the way things work. And eventually I started to do actual readings, and I can't remember what came first. There's all the hexagrams, right? This book was kind of cool. It taught you how to do a reading by throwing coins. But it's too early for anybody, but this is what's got to get done. We got to go. So I started doing that. Long story short, gives you a little bit of guidance. Found a new translation recently that I really enjoy. And so I've been doing multiple translations, and I've even gone on to the internet. Being involved in this Chinese Buddhist temple is the reason why. It reawakened how important the I Ching really is. I didn't realize it. For me, it was just an entertainment thing. I mean, when I bought this book, this book 30 plus years ago, I mean, you can tell how old it is. When I bought that book, brand new, 30-some years ago, I thought it was just, honestly, I have some weird books from back then, you know, like the Tibetan Book of the Dead and the Egyptian Book of the Dead. There was some obscure texts. I don't know what to say, right? I mean, whether they're, not all of them are religious texts. Arguably something like a Voynich manual is the way I thought it was, you know, kind of a lost. This would have been, I guess, mid to late 80s. So arguably after the Great Leap Forward in China, but still very closed, as well as backward. I mean, they'd started to, you know. Anyways, neither here nor there. Yeah, doing readings. Okay, you can do it online, and what you're doing is you're casting to get each one of the lines. So the way the lines work, like I showed you here, for the hexagrams, there's these 3 lines, and you combine it. But like I said, the way it works is you'll toss 3 coins to give you your yin or yang lines, and whether it's changing from yang to yin or yin to yang, right? Because that allows you to have a much more deeper insight, which is something I learned later. So it's not just one hexagram. It's likely to give you what it's changing into and a little bit of guidance, right? So what you can do, I won't even bother. What you'll do is you just cast 3. And I'm going to show this when I have more time. You throw 3 coins, and if, you know, it's 2 heads and a tail, or 3 tails. So, for example, if you made heads, the yin, and the tail, the yang, pardon the pun. If you threw 3 tails, then it would be a solid yang, right? If you threw two tails and 1 head, which is 2 yangs and a yin, then that would be a yang line turning into a yin. Okay? If you threw 2 heads and a tail, that would be a yin line turning into a yang. So you get what I'm getting at. You throw that 6 times with your intention. Okay? What's beauty is there's even computer websites now that you can just get like a pseudo-random, which works, okay? Because, I haven't even mentioned it, but my belief in the benefits of the I Ching is the fact that it gets you out of yourself, allows you to focus, kind of a mindfulness and a meditation sort of exercise, and allows you to get out of yourself and maybe get some insight, some guidance. So yeah, that's what my plan is. Do a little explanation. And I'm just going to do what I used to do, just open it up to a page and see where we're at here. Now, that was a bookmark page, so there, another bookmark page, eh? Well, there you go. Okay. Reduction, right? Solution means relaxation, and when there is relaxation, inevitably something is lost. Therefore, reduction follows solution in the order of the hexagrams, right? And it'll go on and explain the hexagram itself, and maybe even some of the allusions to history. But better yet is it'll literally go on and explain what it means, right? So it'll take each line from the original translations. Right? Reduction with sincerity is very auspicious. If it is possible to be truthful, steadfast, and without error, it is beneficial to go somewhere. Right? So keep in mind these are all interdependent. So reduction follows solution, and increase follows reduction. It's very cyclical, not unlike the Hindu religion. Very, very cyclical. But again, this is pre-Taoism even, right? So here the meaning is taken to be of reduction. Whenever you reduce or curb your excesses in favor of right reason, that is the path of reduction in this sense. The path of reduction requires sincerity and truthfulness, meaning to follow truth with utmost sincerity. If you reduce excesses and follow truth, that is very good, and it bodes well, right? So that's the kind of guidance it gives you. And I mean, there's about 5 pages just in this one translation alone, right? And then I quite enjoy this particular book here because it's got a number of different translations, right? So it will give you not just an individual translation of the hexagram for Chinese, but it'll give you a commentary, and then it'll even have a number up to 5 references in the appendix. So, yeah, that's how you do an I Ching reading. It's not like a psychic or anything like that. It really can be something as simple as an old friend, an old wise friend, giving you a little bit of needed self-guidance. I don't know, that's weird, but you know what I mean. I don't know. I just felt bad that I wanted to do the reading yesterday, and then I ended up having to go to the temple, and then, I said yes to going in today for the service, and then anything else they might need help with. So I wasn't sure when I'd be getting home. I wasn't sure how tired I might be. Again, chronic illness, and we're doing our best. So yeah. I don't know what else. What else was I planning on saying? Well, the big thing is I want to do these readings because right now I'm only just getting back into life, and I'm thinking I could do these readings and possibly for donation, because I'd like to be able to help out the VCBC, right? But we'll see what happens. I don't know. Like I said, I realized recently that I've spent over 30 years studying this book and using it for myself, being involved with the Chinese themselves. I've realized that it's a seminal work to their history and their culture, and yet many of them don't even understand it themselves or use it. You know what I mean by understand. Understand its importance and its place in their history, and therefore the history of civilization. There's a big. I mean, honestly, I was watching a movie, and the movie, the gentleman with a little bit of wisdom said, "If you want to be successful, look for what people are searching for, and try to provide it for them." Try to give it to them. And it seems to me just about everybody is searching for some sort of a meaning, an understanding, right? But I don't know. That's what I thought. It might be like a little stepping stone. I mean, more people nowadays need to realize nobody can give you what you're looking for. They can only point the way. But at the same time, I've come to realize in the process of this healing is most people don't believe in themselves enough to do it for themselves. Right? And that's, for me, why I like to encourage people into Mahayanan Buddhism, because it's all about helping others. So if you can't show yourself the compassion that you need, and honestly it works too, if you start showing compassion to others, and maybe even everybody, eventually you're going to start giving yourself some compassion, right? So anyways, this is for entertainment. I'm hoping maybe I can do some good with it, because I'm still very limited in what I can do, capacity. So yeah, there you go. You guys have a great day. I'm on my way. I'm going to be out and about all day, and hopefully I can come home tonight. I want to do a proper reading video, and I'd also love to do a video about security and privacy for advocates, because of censorship and right, the risks. I think it's important, and that's another thing I think I've noticed is it's not as easy to figure out because I mean VPNs alone, there's a lot of them that are just out to make money, not worried about your privacy at all. I mean, one of the biggest offshore, so one of the better choices. One of the biggest offshore VPNs was hacked recently, and arguably still is. So, you know what I mean? It's tough. I mean, me with an IT background, it still wasn't easy. These companies don't want you to know that they're, they got a back door, or, you know what I mean? They don't really provide 100% encryption. So, anyways, so IT encryption security. It's kind of weird, but security for your spirit and security for your. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Have a great day. Hope to talk to you guys later.